Wisdom by design. Wisdom by design.
All right. Hey guys, this is episode 3 of Wisdom by Design podcast. We are a podcast for the creative looking to enrich their life with knowledge. We won't be giving you 3 ways to get rich quick. In fact, we are for the college avoider, the corporate dropout, the person burning the midnight oil on their next big project, and we are here to talk with you. We want to offer up the processes that work for us in our business and to be real about the ones that don't. This might be your new faith podcast. I'm Jessa.
I'm Cameron.
And this is Wisdom by Design.
Wisdom by Design. Episode
that
3.
might be my new favorite intro right there. yeah.
I should do it every time. We're branding
You
it.
should. That's their branding.
Totally.
There you go. There's our branding.
Consistent. People want me to be consistent. So I have to say, yeah.
So what are we talking about today, Cam?
We are talking about calibrating your performance, and
Ooh.
in performance, I'm talking about your business performance and how well your business is going and how your business is doing. I know for a lot of us, we just feel like some days you're just turning your wheels and you're not getting anywhere. You're just sliding around and just crashing.
Just crashing. Sometimes you know what we're talking about. You're sitting there staring at your computer. You've already done 1,000 things for the day, but it feels like you did nothing.
Yes.
You've completed nothing.
For sure.
The stress is just looming over your shoulder.
And it's a terrible feeling to have. And some
really
of it is some of it can be systems can help and some organization, and there's some things that you can do to make yourself feel better about being a business owner and being in this situation. So
Absolutely.
That's what we're gonna sit down and talk with you guys today about. I'm standing up.
Yeah, I'll say Cam's standing. You already knew I was going to say something. I was about to call you out. Cam is standing with his brand new, very cool desk.
Pretty cool. Hey,
it's a pretty cool
we
desk.
need sponsors.
Okay, we need a sponsor. What's the name of that desk?
Autonomous.
We would like you to sponsor us. I'm
Hope I
currently
said it
sitting
right.
at my kitchen table right now. So,
But the desk is pretty nice. I love it.
The desk
already.
is nice. And for those of you who don't know what it is a standing desk. It is an automatic standing desk. It's pretty cool. No, this is not sponsored. We're just literally telling you about it. So
I just buy new things because I want to feel more like a designer every day. So
right. And sitting on our butt hurts.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you guys know. So, calibrating your performance. How are we going to start that off? Attainable goals.
Yeah,
that should
let's
be the
start with
biggest
that.
one.
Yeah. Because, most of the time we just spend, I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe it's everybody, I have no idea, but I be on Instagram sometimes and be like, man, that person really got it figured out. Maybe I should just copy that and do that.
Yes.
And that thing I copy just drives me nuts because it never works for me.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm like, well, let's get this together and let's try to post every day.
Right.
And I tried that, and that was a goal of mine, but was it attainable?
No.
Probably not. It probably wasn't the best thing to do. So in our goals, we kind of have to, what works for your business? What are you trying to achieve? We all can't be trying to achieve the same things.
No, and you might be like me where you think, oh, I'm going to put 3 or 4 projects on my desk for the day, knowing good and well. Some of those knowing, you know, okay, and your paper is even staring at you like, I know you did not just put that on there. like knowing.
You put all 3 of these?
You put all 3 of these and you think, okay, what do what you need to do. So I will put those
disappointed later.
Exactly. Just call it your disappointment list. So I will find projects that I know good and well. They're going to take me several hours, but I am so hell-bent on getting every single one of those projects done because I'm behind or because I'm stressed out. And then at the end of the day, I'm sitting and just staring into an abyss because it's like, what did I actually do today? I did 1,000 tiny different things, but my list, there was no way I was going to complete that. So we want to talk about attainable goals. I do the same thing. I will go on Instagram and I'll start scrolling and I'm like, man, these guys really have their lives together. But we also forget that some of these people have been honing in on their business for like so many more years than we have. So we can't.
A decade at least.
Decade.
5 years to a decade for most people.
It took me a dang decade to get to where I'm at in photography, and I'm getting bummed about my Instagram account. Like, so yeah, absolutely. We have to learn to set those attainable goals. So, not piling your plate, not piling a bunch of stuff on your plate.
And it's okay to do things for the first time and not know how long they're going to take.
Mm-hmm.
But once you know how long they're going to take, and I know a lot of people, what they do is they'll start a stopwatch. So they'll have their list of things.
I actually just started doing that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So and there's apps for it too. So you don't have to just do it yourself. There's an app. You put in what you're going to do for the day, and then you start the stopwatch when you start that task, and you hit stop when you finish it, and you record it. So now next time when you need to make a list, you know how long it's going to take. So that you're being reasonable in the time that you're going to spend. Because I'm like Justin too, where I will go and be like, well, I'm going to work on brand designs, visual identities for 3 companies today. And it's like,
knowing dang well you're only going to get through one.
I'm not even going to finish the one. I'm going to spend 2 hours looking for references. And then
you get distracted, and then you find something else, and then
the kid's crying, and then
the kid's crying.
Yeah.
Somebody wants Cheetos. It's
100%.
It's a big. I have to pull my 3-year-old out of the refrigerator some days. I'm like, I'll be sitting there, and you'll hear clink, 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 and I'm like, oh no. He's like, mommy, I want pickles. I'm like, okay, well, yeah. So you're gonna get distracted. So when we're talking about these attainable goals, we are going to actually lead you into laying out the week ahead. Lay out your week ahead. And what Kam said, to touch back on that too, with the stopwatch, do that for everything in your business. Because even if you're just checking books or balancing your books, even emails. If you're sending, emails, any of that, Instagram, all of it, you need to record how much time you're spending in certain areas, because you want to get paid for that, right?
Yes.
Do you want to cut yourself a check for those hours? You need to know. And exactly for this, you need to be able to plan out your week. So going into laying out the week ahead.
Yep. I agree. I try to use Fridays for that. Like I have now, we'll sit down on Fridays and try not to make my Fridays too heavy.
Yes.
Where I kind of just have a couple things to touch. And then the end of Friday, I could maybe have some extra time to hang out with my family. And then at the end, I wrap up by, well, what do I need to remember for Monday? What do I need to have ready to go for Wednesday? Because we record this podcast on Wednesday. So what do I need to know for Wednesdays of next week?
Absolutely.
So that when you think ahead, you're never attacked when it's Tuesday.
You're not bombarded by your own plans.
It's Tuesday at 5 p.m. and you're like, I didn't do what I need to do for tomorrow. And now it's pushing into the rest of the time that I have with family, or
don't wake up like Jessa did and make a new email and Instagram for the podcast.
We got it
the same morning. It's fine.
We have to work on it. we're just saying we're at the same level that you guys are. We're just providing some advice that we should also be taking.
We should also be taking, but that's the thing. We're not going to pretend like we don't do it. Sure. This is a learning process. These are the things that we're telling you today. We want to help you build those habits, because we are also working on building those habits.
Sure.
And once you have those in place, that's a system that's going to provide for you over and over again.
Over and over.
Over and over again. Yeah.
So, and a system I was telling Jessa about the other day is I use Trello, Trello.com, and it's like a task planner type of thing. You can set up different boards. I have a board for this podcast. I have a board for my clients.
Yes.
And basically in making the boards, I can spew, and they have an app on your phone. So if you have any ideas throughout the day and you're like, I don't want to lose that, I can now spew all that onto my phone into Trello, and then know that it's all going to be in the same place. And when I start the day, I start with a fresh sheet of paper every day, go into Trello, pull my task, and then go and work on those tasks. And at the end of the day, go back into Trello. What did I finish? What did I not finish? And there's something there that manages my day, and I don't have to worry about losing anything. Because before, your boy was writing on everything. I was writing on sheets of paper. I was writing in the Apple Notes app.
Napkins.
I was writing on napkins. I was writing on this whiteboard back here, and then be like, well, what I got to do? And then not know where stuff was, and then lose it. So that's probably the biggest. It saved me a lot of mental energy knowing where everything is. And knowing that if I have an idea, I don't have to rush off and and start it so I don't forget about it.
Yes.
I have to tuck it away and it'll be there. It'll be there when I'm ready to show up for it.
Well, and yeah, absolutely. And the people who are like, I love writing stuff down. It helps me be able to digest it, to see it, organize it. I like to be able to write it down. So I was doing the exact same thing. I was writing all over the place. And then I finally was like, okay, Jessa, go to Walmart, invest in a notebook. Yes. That notebook is now my dedicated notebook. It has everything that crosses my mind. It has everything for my business, my to-do lists, all of that. And so if you, and I'm thinking about doing a more electronic version, but when I'm in the car and I need to write stuff down, it's perfect for me. I lost my train of thought. So here we are.
like she loses her tasks. She lost her train of thought.
Like I lose my tasks. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, there you go. Thank you. But I would spend a lot of energy going about my day, just feeling like my head was spinning around because I would have stuff over here and have stuff over here. So I had to start writing stuff down. And I actually learned that from my husband. My husband is the king of notebooks. You can ask anybody who is close to him. The man has like 47 notebooks on him at all times. If I open a drawer, there's notebooks flying out. Like he has a problem. He needs to buy stock in notebooks. But it was from a program that he did called 75 Hard. And they have you like read and write and, do all those things. And so, I took that and I realized once I started writing things down, it was like more ideas were coming, more things were popping up, more things. You make room for it. Yeah. Because you're letting it out and you're like, ooh, this is a possibility. So absolutely. So make attainable goals, lay out the week ahead and make sure you write stuff down. Use the systems that you have. And if you don't, put one in place. Use Trello.
Make sure it's the one that works for you. Because Trello might not work for you. You might not like putting things into a computer or a phone, but make something that you can repeatedly do. Like my wife had to help me with this, and like
his wife is amazing, by the way. She is phenomenal. She is phenomenal. I love them because every single time we get on these conversations, he tells me something incredible that she's done to help him out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, power couple.
She's amazing. I'm an ideation guy, but she's like, nope. You're going to execute too, and you're going to do it the right way.
Well, because you and I are both so bad about coming up with an idea and then not following through with it.
Yes. 100%.
Like and I think that's all creatives. We're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then we're like, oh wait, I have so much to do already.
Yeah. And then you're not reasonable. So I basically had to quit everything else I was doing other than, I think I have this one other thing and then my graphic company. And until I get some systems put in place to shorten the amount of time I'm spending on stuff, I literally just don't have the time for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah. And like, I literally, I'm finishing up a blog for my photography business right now that is talking about, where burnout comes from. It's talking about like how you, it's literally called When Should You Rebrand? And the reason that I have that title is because I was doing everything under the sun. I was photographing puppies and babies and cars and models and like dealership, like literally everything that you could think of, sports photos, all of it. And I had no idea why I was so tired. It was because I was spreading myself thin over everything instead of doing exactly what you just did, sitting down and going, okay, what projects do I love? What projects do I have time for? And making time for those. Because even right now, like my list of projects is disgusting. It is disgusting. I am appalled at myself. I have a wedding. Which is great. But if you are a photographer and I'm going to be sitting in front of a computer for easily 8 hours to finish this wedding, and I have other projects due this week. So I kicked myself in my butt, guys. This is why we're trying to tell you, don't be like us.
Yes. For sure.
Yes.
But you bring up a good point, which is you have to make time to reflect.
Yes.
So I know I think it was like 2 weeks ago, me and my tablet and a notebook went to Panera and I sat there for probably 3-4 hours. And I was like, well, what do I want out of my power design? What do I want? What does it look like? And I actually had to take the time to stop everything else and make time to do that. But in doing that, it clears up so much stuff.
Yes,
so
it renews your passion for it too.
So that's probably my next example or the thing that you should do is definitely make some time to take a step away. Like put some time between working all the time and actually sitting down and having some free time to think, because it'll help you. You're just in this, I feel like being a business owner or being a designer, you're just in this mindset of go, go, go. Like, and that might just be everywhere, everybody. But we have to make sure there's an importance in stopping. And,
it's the culture.
Stepping away. It is the culture.
It's the culture.
That's actually it.
This is exactly why we're even talking about, or like why we even created this podcast, because we are in the hustle culture, which is fantastic. I love that it is promoting people getting stuff done and like, you know, hyping them up and letting them know, like, you can do this. You have to work for it. You can do it. But the one thing that the hustle culture does not actually lay out for people is that mental health is so important during these times. Being able to sit down and go through your business is not only going to help you in your business financially, it's going to help you mentally. Because if you're just running around, going crazy, staying up every single night, working late hours, stacking to hustle, you are not going to get anywhere. You're going to burn yourself out. You're going to hate your job. You're going to not want to be around your business. I mean, I'm literally you're talking to queen of burnout. Okay.
Burnout.
I am a recovering workaholic. Hi. Thank you. It's nice to be here. I am a recovering workaholic, and I actually had a wellness coach for it. And a lot of people don't know that. And the reason I had to get my mind right was because I was all over the place, and it was really affecting my mental health. So when you don't take the time to set aside for you and for your business, that's where you start going down that really deep rabbit hole. And I know a lot of you can relate to that.
For sure. And I always say, I have a new saying, and because a lot of people, and I don't know why this is, but I feel like especially in Black culture, we have this love of hustle. Like, if you're not hustling, you're not doing it. If you're not hustling, you're not living. And I want to change that. If you're not being strategic before the hustle, then what are you doing?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, strategy has to come over the hustle. So let's be strategic first. Let's set up systems. Let's cut down the time things take. And now let's hustle. Now we got time to hustle. Now we can be effective.
And exactly. And like, you want an effective hustle. You don't want to just burn. Those systems are going to get you to where that hustle is like butter. I mean, just because when I think of hustle, I think of the passion that we have for something. That is the, it's an emotion almost. It is an emotion. It's when you're looking at the things that you love, you're willing to just do anything and everything for that thing. So when I think of hustle, that's like the first thing I think of. And being creative people, we can get so caught up in going. And then it's like, oh, we're flat on our butts and we don't know we don't know why, when we literally do it to ourselves. So we have to sit back and definitely take a step back from that hustle mentality, because if you want to be a successful hustler, you have to have those systems in place.
You have to. They all do. All the big, all the people you would call the biggest hustlers have systems.
Yes, they do.
They make it work for themselves, and that's why it works. So
So you see, all their nice Instagram posts and this polished business and all this stuff, but they had to do the dirt and the grime. They had to deal with all of that to get to where they're at right now. And that's where we're in that stage of trying to find that balance. We're educating ourselves and we're trying to move forward. And that is going to make that hustle 1,000 times sweeter.
Like you said, butter. It'll move. It'll move smoothly.
I think
that's what we got.
I think that is what we've got. We talked about attainable goals. We talked about laying out your week ahead. Do we want to talk about being realistic, or did we kind of, we kind of touched on that. When we say being realistic, we mean it's very hard to not romanticize everything. Especially when you're seeing other people. You're comparing your failures and your own ventures to people that have been in this business for years. So we want you to start reflecting on those realistic goals.
Who are you?
Or yeah. And if you complete one thing a day, that's one step closer to your main goal. So we want you to keep doing what you need to do. We want you to keep moving forward, and we want you to stay healthy doing it. So if you have any questions, let us know.
And I have one more thing to that. They always talk about comparison being the thief of joy.
Yes.
And it is. Like, it really will take this passion that you have and just dilute it, and it'll be terrible. So really just be realistic. What can you complete? What can you get done? Maybe your business will never be $1 million business. Maybe it'll just be a $50,000 a year venture.
That's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And if you are striving for that $1 million business, good. Like go for it. Yeah. That's for you. Like that's, if that's something that you want to do, absolutely. Me personally, I'm too tired for all of that. I am in a constant, that is a lot of work. I
terrifying.
Not that I can't, but it's not something that it's
not a goal of yours.
It's not a goal of mine. It's not a goal of mine. So we want you guys to be healthy doing it, and we want you to enjoy it while you're doing it. This is the biggest thing. I used to allow my thoughts of how I thought things should be suck out all the joy. Suck out all the joy of everything that I was doing, and I couldn't actually sit in what I was doing and be happy. Yep. And I'm literally living my dream life. I'm working from home. I'm working with my own customers. I have 2 fantastic businesses, but I was literally sitting there, or I should say three, but we're both like, we have so many businesses. But I was literally sitting there so stressed about all the things I had to do that I wasn't enjoying the fact that I own my own business. 100%. I am able to pay my bills. I am alive.
Off of your own back.
Off of my own back. I'm alive, and there's breath in my lungs. And this is something that we get to do every single day, and it is a freaking joy. So had to drop a little bit of hippie on you, but you guys think about that. Don't get caught up in all the things that suck. Because being a business, you have to be partially crazy to run one anyway. That's just facts.
Just honestly, you can go and do what everybody else does and go get a job. They're out here. That's what they're for. Mm-hmm. But there's something off in my head where I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want to be comfortable in that way. So
no,
it's great. It's a great thing.
Enjoy the discomfort of growing, guys.
It's a great thing.
Yep. Oh gosh. Well,
I think that's it.
I think that is it. So, thank you guys for listening to episode number 3.
We're 3 episodes in. We did it.
We're 3 episodes in. I think we're doing okay. We're wearing the same shirts as the first 2 episodes, but don't worry about that.
We might work on that next time.
We might work on that. I don't think it matters. We are literally batch recording because why not?
That's how it does work.
Yeah. So thank you guys for being here. If you want to follow us on Instagram, it's Wisdom by Design Podcast on Instagram. And if you want to send us your emails, your stories, your comments, anything, email us at wisdombydesignpodcast@gmail.com. I'm Jessa.
And I'm Cameron.
And this is Wisdom by Design. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you guys. See you next time.
Wisdom by Design.